Doing? Today's Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2010, and I just wanted to share a little story that I experienced on January 29th of 2010, and we're known as the burnt speaker. Basically what was happening is I was down here with a drummer friend of mine. We were jamming out for about a half hour. I was going through my Marshall here, which is a 1970 Marshall, they're called Plexis, even though this one had the brush face in front. And it's actually, even though it's a 70, it's early 70, and a lot of the parts are 69. And I was running through this 70s Bassman, which I actually got off a porn star off of Craigslist. Maybe too much information, I'm not sure. But we were playing, my drummer and I, for about a half hour. We were just doing some rock stuff. And then he ended up taking off. And then when he left, I decided to do one more tune by myself. And it was probably about 9 o'clock at night, and I was in here loud. And the Marshall was about where it's at now. It was about 7 on the, no, it was a little farther, about 8 on the volume. And just cranking, just going through a few pedals, no big deal. I think I might have had just a little bit of overdrive on. And I was playing, and all of a sudden my sound started to cut out a little bit. And I've experienced this before. Sometimes I blow fuses in the Marshall. So I went over to the amp, and I was just kind of jiggling the cord a little bit, trying to figure out what was going on. And then all of a sudden, this thick smoke started coming out. So I freaked out. I thought the amp had caught on fire the head. So I turn it off, and I grab it, and I just take it down. And all of a sudden, I look, and the actual speaker is on fire. There's actually flames coming out of the speaker. So I'm freaking out because I still have my guitar in my hand, and so I throw the guitar down, and I run over to get the fire extinguisher, which I had, which was this one right here, which I had just actually recently got filled not too long ago. And just like some kind of comedy movie, I go to use it, and the handle breaks off before anything comes out. So at this point, the fire was still somewhat contained within the speaker. So I don't know what to do. So I luckily have another fire extinguisher over in the room, this one, which I actually just recently got. And by the time I got back and hit it up, this had actually all was burnt like that already. And so one quick burst, and I hit that up. So the thing is that how does a speaker catch on fire? There's no electricity going to this. It's not plugged in. The only thing that's going is an audio cable from the head to the speaker. So, of course, all my guitar player buddies completely stoked on it. I feel awesome because I caught on fire. So we're kind of trying to figure out what's going on, and then we look above and we notice the Jimmy picture, and it just happens to be underneath the picture where Jimmy is setting his guitar on fire. So I don't know if there's some kind of spirits or Jimmy was here, but anyway, we got a great story, and I just put a little Smokey the Bear in there just for some photos. And yeah, so that's the story of my burnt speaker, which, you know, will be used on an album cover, maybe make some t-shirts or something like that. So alright, so I hope you enjoyed the story, and we'll see you next time.
First thing I gotta ask is, were your pickups like really extra hot pickups, or what's the deal with that?
So, well, let's run through my gear. first of all, it was exciting, and it was a little scary because this whole process, it was about 20 seconds from when I actually saw the smoke to when it was actually on fire. And so in just 20 seconds, this went up that quick. And so my number one fear is how quickly this whole cabinet could catch on fire. And then obviously if you're looking here at my studio, it's old and got a bunch of old wood and stuff in there. So my first thing was just trying to get the fire out, you know. Too bad I didn't have my little camera or something. I could take a little video or something while it was happening. But that was my first thought. But basically the gear I was using is what you see here. So I'm running my 56 reissue Les Paul, and it just has the standard Gibson P90 pickups that came with it. I was cranked, volume tone was fully cranked up. I was just going through some simple pedals. I have a RMC Wah, a Full Drive 2, and an old Chorus, Boss Chorus CE2 pedal. Actually, none of them were on though. I just ran through. I use these white Fender heavy picks, and I think I'm just using D'Addario 10s on this thing. So nothing special. I believe I was running the bridge pickup, and I was going into the Marshall, which is a 1970, and it's a super bass for those that are wondering, and 100 watt, so it's a big boy, so it gets loud. The volume was right where I haven't touched it. It's just about 8, and then there's also a master volume on this one in the back, and that was set about probably 6. So it wasn't necessarily cranked, but it's where I normally keep it when I'm jamming with my band or with in particular the drummer that I play with, which is a hard-hitting drummer, kind of like Dave Grohl style. And of course this speaker doesn't have any kind of reverb or distortion. It all comes from just the loudness of the amp. So it was loud. I mean, I had my earplugs in, this place was rocking, you know, but how do you not play it loud? Anyone that knows anything about these 100 watt old Marshalls, there is no real quiet on them. So, and then this cabinet is a 70s, I'm not sure exactly what year, cabinet, and it just has 2 12s in it, and the speakers that are in here is Celestians, and actually I only was using one speaker. So the other one, the jack broke, and so it was actually all the sound was coming out of that one speaker. I was just playing, you know, some rock, I think some original tune, you know, that I was playing earlier in the video, and it just happened. So nothing had really changed though. I'd been playing this setup for months, and nothing was different in my chain.
Now that was with the one speaker missing, or that had just happened?
There's one speaker missing, yeah. That.
But it's been like that for a while. You never had any
Nothing's
problems with
changed.
impedance or
Never
nothing?
a problem with that. So, well, obviously there was a problem. Something. So, what we're trying to figure out, guitar community, is how a speaker can catch on fire when it's not plugged in, and you would assume only audio is going from the cabinet to the speaker. So maybe some kind of vibrations or you know, something like that. But there's really not a lot of stuff online about it, and even a lot of my friends have heard of this happening, but they actually don't know anyone. So just wanted to share that experience with you, and if you have any information, you know, click on it and send me an email or a message, and let's try to figure out what happened. But I hope you enjoy it. It's very cool, and I'm going to keep it like this now because it's very cool, and I'm proud of it. And we'll just end up using another speaker, and we'll see if we can catch that one on fire. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, Terry.
All right.